That's okay. It's natural because perhaps the first time all day that we've just stopped doing, we're always doing, right? And the first time the body's going like, hey, all right, you know? So it takes a little, just practice and balance. Like I said, notice that drowsy, you know, not go, oh, I'm getting drowsy. Don't identify I'm drowsy, my drowsiness. Just say, oh, drowsy, interesting. Conditions, a long day, relax, natural, that's gonna happen. So yeah, that's okay, yeah. I always say, if you fall asleep, I did my job. I gave you some rest, you know. Some people tell me, oh, your voice, it just makes me fall asleep. It's so soothing. Would you rather me go like, oh, sound like Gilbert Gottfried? Okay, sit up straight. I don't know how that'll work, but if you get kind of drowsy, yeah, it's natural because the body is just first time all day sitting this one out, you know. So what do? That's the body. With the mind, can we bring the mind, bring a little, you know, and that's a little bit of effort, you know. We remember the mindfulness, remembering, oh yeah, I came here to meditate. I want to learn about meditation. Oh, I came here, I've been doing this for some time. I want to do this. And then I'll take a nap afterwards, you know, when I get home. So just noticing that, and if it's really a lot of drowsiness, then you might go like, yeah, you know, maybe I should have practiced earlier today, or, you know, I had a long day. So, oh, it's conditioned, you know, conditions. So it's nothing bad, you know, don't think you did it wrong. I have a friend of mine who I've been meditating with for, I think, he's 40 years, and he falls asleep all the time in meditation. Starts snoring, you know, so at least he's resting, you know. So we're in the process of presenting these concepts of the 10 perfections. Some of you might have been attending like some of these teachings already, right? The 10 perfections, qualities, paramitas, they call them also. The paramitas, which are complete, you know, instead of, try to kind of remember the exact, like Sanskrit. Sanskrit's kind of interesting. It has a lot of different meanings for different words and different parts. But it means like also has the sense of going beyond, transcending. So they could say the 10 transcendent qualities, you know, or thoughts. So what are we transcending, right? What are we going beyond? What are we, you know, perfecting, or what are we, these qualities? You know, loving kindness, determination, last week, next week's equanimity. The first, did anybody remember what the first paramita is?
Generosity.
Ah, good students. Yeah, generosity. Thank you for your generosity and being open and saying it. Yeah, the first perfection or quality is generosity. And these are 10 that come from the traditional early Buddhist writing, the Buddhist writings, the sutras in Pali, from the suttas, the 10 perfections. In the Mahayana, the second turning of the wheel, you might say, that the Buddha gave, where the archetype for a practitioner is a bodhisattva. A bodhisattva means an awakened being. You know? So a bodhisattva is a practitioner of the Mahayana. So he works with 6 paramitas. And there's also, again, another 4, there's 10, so there's all kinds of numbers in the Dharma you'll find, you know. Don't get so entangled in numbers and all that stuff. It's helpful because at that time of the Buddha's teachings, Buddha, his words weren't put down in paper till hundreds of years later. They were oral transmission, you know. So to help them memorize all these teachings, these paramitas, perfections, with numbers, they use numbers. 10 paramitas, 6 paramitas, 4 noble truths, right? All that type, all the 5 skandhas, the 5, yeah. So all these numbers were used to help them memorize, So if you forget a number or if you mix them up, it's not the end of the world. Don't feel bad. Just look at your mind. I always say, look at your own mind that wants to get it right. You know? But always remember that first paramita, the first quality of generosity. Be open to your experience. Whatever you're feeling, generosity. Be open. More space, right? What do we do with some, like, first responders, somebody's like, or not even a first responder, we're at work and somebody's, choking, or somebody's having an anxiety attack. Give them space, right? Give them space for now. They need space. That's generosity. That's an open heart and open mind. This is what we cultivate in meditation practice as we're training, that sense of give space and hold space. Hold space for someone, for whatever they're experiencing. Again, unbiased. I like this, I don't like that. This I can hold, that I can't hold. So what is all that? That is self-clinging, wanting it. That is identifying. As I said through meditation, don't identify. I don't like it. I like it. I don't know yet. We function like this. So in a way, it's okay. But a lot of functioning like that is a habitual, perpetuating just more suffering. And we can see that if we look. As I said through the guiding of meditation, see drowsiness, see agitation. Look. Don't want to change it. Don't push it away. You can label it, or you don't even have to label it. We know that the energy already, right? We know the state of mind that's, when's the guy going to ring that bell, Look at that state of mind. That's interesting. What's that? Wanting it to be different. Wanting it to change. So, we've been in this project of offering talks and advice on these 10 perfections. Mine today was the quality of loving kindness. Loving kindness, or friendliness, translated also. So before I begin, I printed this out. This is kind of like it was put together by the Nalanda Translation Committee, which are students of Jampa Rinpoche. And it's kind of slightly based on the Metta Sutta, if you guys are familiar with that. That one's really long, but kind of like, based on that. But they had their own translation of it and translate loving kindness as friendliness. Loving kindness in Pali is metta. A lot of you are familiar with metta, like the metta chant that we do at the end. And in Sanskrit, it's Maitri. Maitri. In Tibetan, it's Jampa. So I was given that name by when I took refuge. So if you I don't know if I had enough. I hope I did. And everybody has one, yeah? Oh, cool. See that? Spontaneous. Didn't have to call in and say, hey, Kalidas, how many people are coming in today? How many tickets did we sell? So let's recite this together. Okay? If you don't want to, that's okay. You can just read it to yourself. But it's really nice when we recite it together. It's kind of like a resounding of the Buddha's speech. And our speech, our own awakened nature, is being put out into the world. So, this is what should be done by those who are skilled in seeking the good, having attained the way of peace. They should be able, straightforward and upright, easy to speak to, gentle and not proud, content and easily supported, with few obligations and wants, with senses calmed, prudent, modest, and without greed for other people's possessions. They should not do anything base that the wise would reprove. May they be at their ease and secure. May all beings be happy. Whatever living beings there are, whether they be weak or strong, omitting none, whether long, large, average, short, big or small, seen or unseen, dwelling near or far, born or to be born, may all beings be happy. Let no one deceive another or despise anyone anywhere. Let none out of anger or hostility wish suffering upon another. Just as a mother would protect with her life her own child, her only child, so should one cultivate a boundless mind toward all beings and friendliness toward the entire world. One should cultivate a boundless mind, above, below, and across, without obstruction, hatred, or enmity. Standing, walking, sitting, or lying down, throughout all one's waking hours, one should practice this mindfulness. This, they say, is a supreme state. Not falling into wrong views, virtuous, endowed with insight, having overcome desire for sense pleasures, one will never again know rebirth. Thank you. You're welcome to keep that if you'd like. I do encourage you to not place it on the floor if possible, and your cushion is fine, yeah. Put it on the floor. They say, to have respect for the teachings in words or in pictures and image. So, again, it's not the end of the world if you do it. You're not going to hell. You're not going to burn in hell. But it's a practice, right? It's mindfulness, remembering, recalling. Oh yeah, you place it. So it's to help us cultivate our practice. Just another tool, another method to help us. They call this a skillful means, a skillful method to train in mindfulness and awareness. 'Cause sometimes we're all just like, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, yeah. Even walking over it, like say if I stepped here right now and I walked over Michael's text, that's, my monks would go like, oh no. They wouldn't hit me, but they would say, oh no. Don't walk over text, don't place it on the floor. Respect, right? Having this mind of reverence, right? Respect. And we see, we're all here. Why? Because these teachings are meaningful for us. They're helping us look at life in a different way, our condition in a different way, helping us help the world. We don't leave it on the cushion. Once we walk out of here, whether you know it or not, you'll notice a difference. You might be in traffic and somebody might flip you off, and you just smile. Oh, he says I'm number one. Imagine that. He's so sweet. So yeah, you'll notice that you don't have to go like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do this. No, when it's spontaneous like that, you don't know, you have this, oh, that's interesting. That's that openness. That's an open mind, an open heart. There's no mind there. You don't mind. Minding is like, how dare they? How could they do this to me? Well, I'm going to chase them till I see them again, and I'm going to give them. That's your thinking, energy, aggression. What if we just sit this one out? May they be happy. Ooh, I must have cut them off. My bad. May they be free and safe from suffering. Right? So thank you for reading this with me, singing along to this Friendliness Sutra. You can keep this and recite it in the mornings if you'd like. Put it on your refrigerator. Whatever you'd like to do. Yeah. So loving kindness, the quality of loving kindness. Friendliness. This friendly attitude, right? Like when we meet someone that's really open and like, wow, they were so friendly and nice and sweet and very open. They were very open, not judgmental, non-judgmental. We can sense that from people, right? They don't have a label that says non-judgmental, You just sense that from people. You feel that. Sometimes as soon as somebody comes in the room, you feel that openness, that spaciousness. That's that friendliness, that loving kindness. Sometimes we think loving kindness is like, oh, I love you so much. You know? That's a different kind of love. That's a craving love. I love you. Please don't leave me. Don't go away. You know? Or I love you until you do something I don't like. You know? Why'd you do that? What happened to the love? Right? Well, not right now. But loving kindness perfected, like in this quality that we're working to perfect, is to mindfulness and awareness. Remember to see that, oh, I'm being selective. I'm being, loving to Michael, but not Kalidas. Michael, yes. Kalidas, maybe, Notice that. This is our practice. So what does a practitioner do? Practice these 10 perfections, these 10 paramitas. Transcend. Transcend what? Transcend ego. Transcend my friend Michael. I don't know Kalidas that well. Transcend that mind, that minds. I like, I don't know yet. That's what's transcending. We're transcending, going beyond. Going beyond. Wisdom is one of the 10 perfections, and one of the 6 perfections too. In Mahayana, it's generosity, conduct, discipline, patience, effort. That's the effort we need when we're meditating to stay awake. Heroic effort, concentration or meditation, and then wisdom is the last one, or prajna, wisdom. And wisdom, why is wisdom? Wisdom really should be applied to all 5, but because without wisdom, loving kindness is selective. I love Donovan. I don't know about Kelly yet. Yeah, I love my team. I don't know about that team. Red, blue, green, yellow, all that. It's selective. Generosity without wisdom is expectation, hope, fear. Did I give enough? Will they like it? Here, Michael. Oh, thanks. He didn't like it. Well, that's self. Hoping, expecting. But if I just give, go away, Not go away, but ego, go away. Michael, always here. I shared a story recently, like when I came across someone who was living on the streets, and they asked for change, for help. And I knew I had money in my pocket. I just reached in, and I was like, oh, what do I have in there? I'm all like, am I really going to pull it out and say, like, let's see, I'll give you this one, but not this one, I have dollars, 5s, 20. I just pulled out and gave, and it was a 20. And he was like, whoa, and I was like, okay, good, For me, that was a practice of, I noticed first is noticing the mind that says, what's in there, Do I really want to give? And then I let go. Those catch, release, pull it out. Helped him. That's it, So what is that? That is applying wisdom. The wisdom of, no self, the wisdom of no subject, and the wisdom of no action. And the absolute, no subject, no object, no action. Permanently existing. Right? Relatively, Michael's there. I'm sure he'd take my 20 if I gave it to him. But in the absolute, there's no subject, there's no object, there's no action. They're ephemeral. They're just temporary existence. We make it permanent. If I'm like, I gave Michael a 20 and I'm thinking about it all night, and then I go get something to eat and oh man, I had that 20 and I gave it to my, God dang it, I shouldn't have. That's minding, that's self, that's that's solidifying that experience, subject, object, action. Solidifying the action as something permanently real. In my mind, it still is, because I'm like, or I'm like, hey, guess what I did yesterday? I gave this person $20. What do you think of that? You know? Pride, right? That's self. So yeah, so this wisdom, this insight is what helps those other qualities, those other perfections transcend, go beyond. Go beyond. So our friend, my wife asked me this morning, said, what are you going to talk about? I said, I don't know. She's like, come on. I go, well, I put some notes down here and there. Actually, I forgot my notes, so look at that. I like, no. I brought those, but I had like some notes and I left them at home. Oh well. See, the life said, sing. You don't need the sheet music. Some of you might have heard me say this, but I'm a big music fan, jazz fan. And I read a quote by Charlie Parker who said, first you master your instrument, then master the music, then just forget all this shit and play. Just play. So master your instrument, master your mind, right? Master the music, life. Learn, read like reading music, right? We're life, we're training for life. Like here, we're mastering the music in formal meditation. Out in the world, if the world gets tough, we don't have our cushion, we don't have a little corner to sit in, we don't have our incense, we don't have our guided meditation CD. We gotta be on the spot. What are we gonna do? Play. Play. You've mastered your instrument. You've mastered the music. Now forget all that shit and just play. So this, yeah. I had my sheet music and I forgot it. So now I'm just playing. Spontaneous what comes out because, I've been studying for some time. I've received wonderful teachings from teachers, and what I do, I get out of the way. And whatever my teachers gave to me, this is coming out. So my wife asked me this morning, I said, what do you talk about? I said, loving kindness. She said, is there any other kind of kindness? I went, it's a good question. I go, well, let's see. Loving kindness. Loving is, again, this kind of friendly, open. Really, when you think of love, it's just open, right? Like our grandparents or something, they were just very open. Perhaps compared to our parents, who are more strict and tight. Grandparents are more like, yeah, let them break that, whatever, There's more openness. So that friendly, that loving, we say loving, but that's just a friendly, open state of mind, way of being. So I said, well, maybe kindness without loving it could look like kindness, but it's not, right? You can open the door for somebody and that person, perhaps, they're kind of having difficulties and they're walking and you're going, come on, hurry up, I got to get somewhere, And they come by and they say, oh, thank you so much. Oh, yeah, not a problem. Well, it looks like kindness, but is it kindness? So loving kindness adds that friendliness, that openness, that open. Take your time. Take your time. Holding space for whatever. There's no limit. Right? There's no limit. But when there's identification, my time, I got to get out of here, an act of kindness can turn into like, hurry up. Or an act of kindness could be, if I do this, I'll get this. So, which I never really thought about until she asked me. And then everything came to mind that I've been taught. I'm like, oh yeah. kindness without friendliness. So relatively, right, we practice, we cultivate, loving kindness, have a friendly, open attitude, open doors for people, let someone in line before you, whatever it is that we can do. Help organizations that need help, whatever. There's a lot of things going on right now. We help however we can. And we work with the loving kindness attitude, not just kindness attitude. I'm going to give to this because screw them. No, just give with a friendly, open. May it help. May it be a cause for the end of all suffering, not just their suffering. So that's, how we can train, practice, cultivate loving kindness. Our actions is friendliness, remembering. We train with it. We're training when we do formal meditation. We're training with that loving kindness, that openness. Whatever comes to mind, just notice it. If it's challenging, come back to the breath to anchor yourself, ground yourself back in presence. And perhaps at the beginning, as we're learning meditation, we need to stay there for a bit. Just stay with the breath. Stay with the breath. And as we become more stable, our mind becomes more stable and relaxed and open, we begin to come out of the cage. Look at the thought. Look at the thought that's disturbing. But without identifying my thought. I don't like that thought. Just look at it. Feel that energy. As I said, lean into it. Interesting. What do we discover? It changes. Now another thought. Just like that beeping, right? Where's that beeping truck now? And the same thing with thoughts. Whatever appears in the mind is mind. I don't want that here. It's the wave and the ocean. We say wave and ocean, two things, but are they? Or is the wave and the ocean two separate things? So, what causes a wave? Sometimes, surfers say, the surf was bad today. There was no surf out there. Why? Conditions. And sometimes there's waves. Why? Conditions. So in the same way, our mind, certain thoughts, conditions.
Hi, I'm Franz with Long Beach Meditation. Your gracious generosity makes this programming possible. If you found this video to be of value, please consider making a donation here. If you'd like to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to stay in touch with Long Beach Meditation, click here to subscribe. Thank you, and may all beings be happy.